Hello and welcome to my channel. I am the Psych Auto Scorer, and today we will be talking about the WISC-V. Now, I don't know about you, but after a long intelligence test, I don't feel like going to my books to figure out the different scaled scores. So I created this auto scoring template that you can use too. Just check out the description and the link so that we can score these tests much faster. Alright, so I'm just going to show you how to do it. Basically, you'll just be filling out these different yellow boxes, and then all the other boxes will fill in. And just to show you that this does indeed work, I'm just going to go through and show you each section and how they're mostly empty, because they will be filled in later as we fill in these yellow boxes. Now this one's a little bit different than my previous ones. There's a little bit more to it. I'll show you what I mean later, but it should be easier to read now based on that. I've also included the process analysis. I didn't include that in my WISC-V. I'm planning on doing that soon, but we'll also have the process analysis, and we have two graphs, the composite score profile and the subtest scaled profile. Alright, so to do this, first you'll want to enter in the test date. We're just going to use 1/15/2024. Sometimes there can be a little bit of a lag as you're entering information. That's just because the formulas are going to work behind the scenes. And we'll do a birth date. Also keep in mind the date should be month, day, year, but sometimes Excel can change things up if you're living in a different country. That will change my formulas. So if the month, day, year isn't working for you, go ahead and try using the day, month, year instead. Alright, so we can see that this patient is 16 years old. This is of course a fake patient with fake data. I'd put them in the age group of 16 to 0 months to 16 and 3 months. Alright, so for this, we're just going to enter in data for the first 10. These ones are the secondary subtests and should only be used if you are replacing one up here that is in the same category. So, it'll be just a minute. So if you'll notice there's a little bit of lag as I finish each one, and that's just because of those formulas working, and just in entering in all this information gave me all these scaled scores over here. We can see that these 7 are going to be used for the FSIQ. The sum of scaled scores has been automatically generated, and then it's taken over here. We can get those composite scores, so we can quickly see that this patient had a FSIQ of 117, which is in the above average range. It also is going to give you the the GAI, the QRI, the AWMI, those other score conversions. This is another yellow box. This is where we would need to enter in more information. Again, this is all just fake information just for the purpose of demonstrating this test. As I enter in that information, we can see that the composite score or the index scores are entered with the percentiles and the confidence intervals. And then we get to the new part. Alright, so this right here is going to have a bunch of different drop-down arrows. So you'll see when you do this, for the index comparison, we can choose between using the MIS, which is taking those the five index composite scores or scale scores, and then dividing it by 5 to get that average, or we can use the FSIQ. We'll use the MIS in this case. Again, there's going to be a little bit of a lag, and you can see right here that it's calculated everything using the MIS, which is 110, and over here, if we wanted to switch that, no problem, we can just click here and that will change. And I made it different colors too, just to make it a little bit more obvious that the changes happened. You can see that the critical values and base rates aren't there yet. That's because we need to do a bit more of this settings situation here. So we can choose the MSSP or the MSSF. That'll change this one down here in column R. We'll do the MS-P. And now we need to do the comparison samples. Are we going to use the overall, or are we going to use age group? I like to use age group. just because it's a bit more specific to the patient. But if you want to use an overall sample, you can do that as well. And then it should populate over here. See, now it says age group. And now this is for the base rates. Again, we'll use the ability level to make it more accurate. And then significance level, I like to do a 0.05 just because, p-values. And as soon as that's done loading, we'll see that this table is completed. W stands for weaknesses, S is for strengths, blank mean that that the difference is not greater than the critical value. Then these are the base rates over here in column Y. And we also have this last setting that is to be used for the these two, the GAI minus FSIQ down here, just to compare these two differences. And again, we'll use the ability level. So we can see that, after we enter those settings, we get exactly what we wanted. And we're ready to go on to the process analysis. Now these two are blank right here because they use the arithmetic and linear number sequencing. And since those are the secondary subtests, that we only use in the exception of exchanging one test for another, because one of the primary ones is invalidated, and then it would populate here and we'd get a difference in a significant difference or base rate over here. So now this is the process analysis. So we'd have to enter in some additional scores. We don't ever have to repeat the scores that we enter in, which is good. So, and since there's less formulas involved with them, they go a little bit quicker. I'm just going to paste the values in because they're all going to be the same. And let's see, so we'll also have more settings here. Let's just do overall this time just to show you. And we'll do a 0.1 significance, why not? So now we can see that these pairwise differences have been completed. Since this patient's 16 years old, it's not going to use these two lower ones. And again, since letter number sequencing wasn't used, it's left blank there, so that's why we're seeing a missing value. But if you did have letter number sequencing, it would auto-populate with the base rates and whether or not significantly different. And just on this last one, all right, I think these are going to be 8s. Normally to enter in each one of these individually, but since I'm just using a fake sample, I'm just making them all the same. All right. So this pink one is referencing this table over here. It just changes based on the age of the patient. And again, these ones aren't used because the patient's over 16. It'll give you the base rate numbers and also populate these base rates over here for these differences over here. All right, I hope this has been helpful. If this is something you're interested in, oh, one more thing. I forgot to show you my graphs that I made. So this will automatically generate the graphs as well. So if you want to put that in the patient's report or not, that's just something that's more easily, visible to the patients. All right, so if you are interested in this and would like to get it, go ahead and check out the link in the description. I should have it there where you can download a copy of this Excel file for yourself. All right, hope you enjoyed it.